Hi, my name is Terry from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. This is video 4 in our Vintage Victorian Beauties series, and this is my design team project for LineDotArrow for March of 2023. Now, when we left off, we had done through page 5, so we're now going to do page 6 and page 7, and then in our final video, I will have decorated the coffee dyed papers so that we can do 8, which is the back cover. That won't take very long, and then we'll just sew it together real quick. Okay, so we're going to work on page 6. Let me set this to the side. And I really like how the cover came out. It's very pretty. This final butterfly right here, the wings will be pulled up a little bit, but I just haven't done it yet because we're kind of mushing around with it. Okay, so this is the stuff for page 6. Get some of this unpaper clipped here. Actually, I might use this piece. I don't think it's tall enough. Okay. So we have this piece of acetate. Put a paper clip on it so I can see it. And then this is our paper. Now, I didn't put any glossy accents on this yet. I think possibly I'll do this part right here when we get done off camera. And I think I told you before, you just paint it on like you're with a paintbrush. And you need to be fairly quick because it dries fairly quick. And depending on how thick you want to make it is how many times you do the brush stroke. I only put it on enough so that it makes it shiny, or a subdued shiny, not like glossy accents, because it will wrinkle your paper a little bit, but it does not smear the ink on inkjet printer paper. So this is coffee dyed paper that we're going to use. We're going to make a notebook with an acetate pocket, so that should be fairly easy. So we've got our paper. Let's put our pocket on. Get my red marker here. Okay, I want to put it just below Our Lady. So we're going to want it to be just a little bit shorter than that and a little bit narrower than that. So I'm going to do the length first to get the best scrap. Or actually, this piece is big enough that it will be the best piece, because that's a pretty good sized piece that's left. Paper clip that to my other scraps. I went to throw away the little tiny scrap and the static electricity. It's stuck to my hand. Okay, it looks like, oh my goodness, it's just some tiny bit too long or wide. Why does that almost look crooked? It's hard to tell. it isn't hard to tell. Good grief. It's just a rectangle, Terry. Okay. Then we'll glue it on. This thicker acetate is easier to see. Has a teeny bit of a tint to it because it's thicker. And then if you kind of smear it down when you glue it, then you don't see the glue at all. Okay, so let's go by our front cover, which I'm going to make it the same as this image. Or should I make it this? And then we'll have both ladies. I think I will. Attractive Montgomery Ward hats for 1908. I used to work at Montgomery Ward when it was still a store. I guess that shows how old I am. Looks like because of the glue, we need to make it just a smidge narrower. That worked out well. I like this as a cover. Okay. It still seems to be... Looks like I put the glue in a little bit far. Now, we are going to leave the cover hanging out. And we're going to have to trim a little bit off the bottom. So that it doesn't stick up off the top. It's always better if you do it straight. I don't know what my deal is. Alright, so before I make the back the same size, really don't like the way I glued this. I'm not going to make it any narrower. If I have to make the back a little bit narrower for it to fit, then I will. Oh no, see, that's fine. Then I thought, since this is the double-sided paper, what I would do is I would go ahead and make the back out of the opposite. Which is going to be this long. And this wide. No, somehow I did this incorrectly, but let me fix it. I'm having a paper trimming issue today. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing with the paper. If we do it this way, and I'm using the back to measure, I'm going to put a mark here, even though it's not going to be that wide, and a mark at the bottom. We're going to make it shorter. But we're going to do the bottom first. That way it'll be the same all the way across. Make it a little bit skinnier. We're going to ink around these, front and back. My friend said this lace paper looks like it's real lace on camera, as I was showing it to them on video chat. But this is an image printed on paper. I have it set on high quality, as high as it will go. Yeah, Montgomery Ward's. I remember that. Or Montgomery Ward. So it was two people's names. Mr. Montgomery and Mr. Ward. It was a big department store, for those of you who don't know, like Sears. And I don't know, maybe some of you don't remember Sears as a big store. Then, this is going to be the back, or this is going to be the front. This is going to be the back. I'm wondering if any of my scraps are big enough. Doesn't look like they are. That's an interesting thought. I'm going to say we could put a small pocket back here. We could also put a small belly band. For something a little different. I was showing my friends how much I had gotten done so far, and that was when I realized I had left out a card. So I'll have to make that, and I'll make a card for this one off camera as well. Okay, so then we're going to take our paper. We want it to be even at the top. And then I'm going to take my little mini stapler or tiny attacher. And then to cover this, we'll put a piece of lace across the top. And I've coffee dyed this lace. Just made a cup of coffee and stuck it in there. I tried to pick this up thinking it was a clear piece of acetate laying there. Now this is going to cover up the Montgomery Ward reference. And a little bit of the hat. So we'll do that. So this will be the front, and I'll put glossy accents on the roses. I mean, triple thick. Then on the back, I'll do this yellow flower. And I may do this. I haven't decided yet. So now we're going to put lace on this side, but we've got a pocket, and we need our whole pocket. Okay. Actually, looks like we have enough room. I'm going to split the piece of lace. You know, I can push the notebook over. so that the pocket is not impeded. So we're going to put a piece of lace from here to here. What's up with my cutting today? And then we'll put a second piece from here to here. And then we can still use our pocket. Oops, we want to get it as even as we can. Yeah, looks like I'm going to end up trimming just a smidge off the top. The next page is going to have acetate as well. I like using acetate, especially on these kind of decorative collage papers. Now see, it looks like it's one continuous piece of lace pretty much. Okay. So that's page 6. And we've got our notepad. And then the back is the same as this picture in here. I'm going to wait till all the glue dries and everything before I go pulling on anything. So let's write page 6. And now we have page 7. This is the paper for page 7. And I'm not going to be putting any triple thick on this paper because we're going to make 2 belly bands. We're going to make a double acetate belly band. And these are going to be our 2 cards, which I'll do off camera. And this is a full sheet. So let's turn it this way. Cut it off at the height. Well, actually, how wide do I want one to be? I want the first one to be that wide. And then I want the next one to be 2 inches. So I'll go 2 inches past that and cut that piece off. and then I'll cut the height, and then that'll give me this full piece left over here with the full size. So now I've got this whole big piece. Then I'll take this piece and I'll cut it where the line is. That will give me the two belly bands. Actually, now I'm going to cut. No, I'm going to cut them separate, which means I didn't mark the height on the other one. Let's see if I can do this on the clear. Okay. Hopefully. Yep. All right, so we're going to glue this one on. I've already inked this paper. And then we're just going to glue the other one on top of it. And then when you take the cards out, you'll be able to see all the way through the paper. Okay, then we'll take the second one, wherever it went. There it is. I almost lost it. And now what I'm going to do is on the back one, I'm going to put the card up and down. And on the middle one, I'm going to make the card go across, even though the belly bands are both, you know, vertical. Well, that might not work, will it? Because then it'll slide around. And on this one, the lace is going to go on this side. I almost cut my finger. Now I can't even be allowed next to scissors, let alone sharps, huh? And then once we do that, we'll have this page done, except for the cards. It's a very crooked glue job. And I'm lining it up so that this little area right here, this little thread change here, there's a little border right there, is all that's on the paper. And the rest of it hangs off. Okay? Page 7. This is going to be our larger card, and I will put triple thick on the tulips. This is white on the back, so I will stamp. You have to be able to write on it. Okay. I don't know why I'm putting it in there so crooked. It's plenty small enough to fit. Okay. I was going to make that the smaller card so that the flowers would be on top. But I didn't want to cut off any of the flowers. And we could just put this card in. I was thinking and leave the other belly band empty for now, and just implied that you could use it, so that you could see the flowers. They're much prettier than, you know what I mean, having this. Could make that so narrow, though, that it's just those. Acetate is a little hard to work with, getting the cards in and out once it's in the book. Really like that. I don't really want to cover it. Maybe I should have just made it one acetate pocket or belly band. still watching that Vikings series. I like watching the drama around the different earls and all that. So let's make this as wide as the belly band is all. And I'll put triple thick on those flowers. Yeah, that's better. And then we'll have page 7 done. Then I could do page 8, which is the back cover. But then there's not enough time to do the sewing. So I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit shorter. It would have been even shorter if I hadn't had to ink all this. And I wasn't originally going to make the cards, but you can back these with coffee dyed paper. You have to be careful with the acetate. The pockets are very tight. So if you make these too thick, it's going to be hard to get it in there. This one's decorated on the back. I didn't realize. But there's this writing area here. I might go back and make a different one. This doesn't really go with this. I know that sounds crazy. But I may make a different one. If I put this in here this way. And then this one will go in like this. And so you've got the 2 cards and the 2 belly bands. And you've got your lace. And page 7. So here's page 6. And here's page 7. And that's all we're going to do for this video. So I will see you in the next video. And that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.